Hey, this is Sam Black with my first match with 4-color ramp. On the draw, waiting for my opponent to presumably select to go first. There we go. I will keep this. I'd like to find a waste off both of Nissa, but it's not critical. So I'm just going to lead with the forest here.
Oh yeah?
And alright, I will take the waste. Put these away. So now I'm set to play Wastes and Ruin, and then a land and Explosive Vegetation, and then a land and Drowner of Hope. So, no, that was lagging a bit. Alright. There we go. Let's get some white mana. Well, no, these can find. I'm gonna get blue here. Battlefield. Alright, so now I can Worldbreaker next turn if I want. So I will Windswept Heath, sacrifice it, and I want to get non-basic here so that I keep more basic lands in my deck to avoid running out. So I'll get Prairie Stream, and then I'll Explode. And I'm going to get Wastes here because it's the thing that is the fewest of my cards search for, so it's easy. It's least problematic to run out of. Plus, extra colorless lets me activate Eldrazi Displacer more. Alright, so I can Wooded Foothills, Worldbreaker, or Evolving Wilds, Drowner of Hope. I think I'd like to cast Ugin next turn, so I'm actually going to play the Drowner and the Evolving Wilds. Something to be said for killing my opponent's mana, but I think a Collected Company is about to come here. Opponent's very blue for Anafenza, which makes me think this is not just Abzan. And passing with 4 with 5 cards in hand seems like it represents company. Which I think all supports playing Drowner. Here's the company. And we get Sky Spawner. That wasn't too bad for me. Can handle those, I hope. Sky Spawner is good against Ugin, I suppose. Think about whether I want to tap anything. I don't think so. I can just block. Oh, maybe I guess I should have tapped Anafenza to stop my opponent from putting a counter on Sky Spawner. That was a mistake. Yep, that was bad. Yeah, especially since I think I want to block Anafenza anyway. Alright. Substantial misplay, but hopefully it'll be alright. Sure, we'll get a mountain. And I think the safest thing to do now is to just cast Ugin. And I can -3 to kill these 3 things, which puts Ugin down to 4. So if I can block the Scion, then Ugin will live, and then it can plus to kill the Sky Spawner. If my opponent gets rid of my Scion, then Ugin will die, but I can probably count on the World Breakers and Drowner of Hope to take the game from there. Tremoka's command will allow my opponent to kill Ugin. Assume that's what's happening right here. Alright, I don't want to die, so I'm going to cast Ruin in their wake. I'll get Plains, put it into hand, play it, and then I'm just going to cast Drowner. I played Drowner instead of World Breaker because I don't want to die to Reflector Mage. was lucky for me. My opponent found only Jace. So I'm going to tap Sky Spawner. So now I'm going to cast Ruin in their wake. And I'll put the forest into play. I'll cast Worldbreaker. I'll kill Opulent Palace. I'll play Lumbering Falls. I don't think I'm ready to start attacking yet. There's going to be another company coming. Certainly not out of the woods yet. Okay, interesting. If I let my opponent attack, I get a little bit punished by Bounding Crassus, but I don't die, so I think that's fine. Not sure why my opponent wouldn't Jace company here. Guess maybe if they just have another company or something. Was the thinking whether they wanted to play this and sacrifice 2 Scions to company again? Looks like. Probably should have done this all pre-combat in case they found like 2 Reflector Mages or something, but or even 1. Yeah, well, that was a good draw. Yeah, I have enough mana to cast this and then cast it again with Worldbreaker, which seems really good for me. It would have been better to use this Scion, but I don't think that matters. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. Oh, this is gonna kill this Worldbreaker, but that's actually kind of good. It just lets me buy back the Worldbreaker. Oh, but that stops me from killing Jace. Oh well. I don't really care about Jace plussing. just kill Jace next turn. Wait. Apparently Kozilek's Return exiles when it comes back. No. Where's my Worldbreaker? Oh, Anafenza! Of course. Alright. Well, that's fine. I'm gonna play around potential company here. I'm not gonna give the option to my opponent's just getting a company before I can attack. In light of Anafenza, it's possible that I should have just Kozilek's Returned and then played the Worldbreaker next turn. So this will tap the Worldbreaker. Now I have to decide if I want to trade this for Krasus by attacking, which I think I do. Or Ailey, that's fine too. Alright, all out of lands to find. After all this, I could still easily lose here to Jace flashing company and hitting good things. Or just actually hitting anything. I'm pretty far behind. In fact, I'm far enough behind that my opponent might even... Well, there's an argument for just plussing Jace if my opponent has like another creature or something. But it's probably best to just minus and company and maybe hit another Jace. Yeah, that's bad. I've made some critical mistakes this game, but it's also really showing the power of this Bant deck that, you know, the game's not just over. I mean, that, like, they're still reasonably likely to win after all this. This was a good draw, though. I get to bounce the Jace. And then I can block Reflector Mage and go to 1. And then I can Worldbreaker the Sunken Hollow, and my opponent might not be able to replay the Jace. Obviously I die to a lot of things like that. Okay, so I get to side in Planar Outburst, more Kozilek's Returns. I don't think I want Jaddi Offshoot, I think it's too low impact, but I do think Dragonlord Dromoka is good. That's pretty bad against Reflector Mage. Ugin seems really good. Now, what to cut? That is a harder question. think Ulamog is too slow and bigger than I need. Yeah, maybe Dromoka is just too bad against Reflector Mage. It's kind of sad. Maybe I don't need Sylvan Advocate as much when I have... no, I think I just don't want to go up on Kozilek's Return. It's good against Jace and Sky Spawner. Good with Worldbreaker, but I might trim Worldbreaker. Let's try to hedge against some of those bounce things. Just trim some cards, something like this. Definitely not entirely sure where I want to be taking this. I could move away from Kozilek's Return entirely and lean on Planar Outburst, which has the advantage of letting me cut my mountain. I could just go down on lands, that's fine, the deck has more than enough. Jace is scary that way, but let's see. Maybe something like this. Dromoka is really good if it doesn't get bounced. And my opponent can't let it resolve and then company, which is pretty nice. Alright, let's try this. Oh, I still have Dragonlord Atarka, but I still have the 1 red source, but I shouldn't have cut Mountain. I'll go first. I'll keep this. I think I'm going to find Forest and cast Oath, and then find Wastes to cast Ruin. Be happy to draw land, so I'm going to Oath before Evolving Wilds. I don't want to thin out the waste. Yeah, I think I need the land. This will get wastes. This will get Prairie Stream. And I'm just going to cast Eldrazi Displacer. So next turn I can get Canopy Vista and cast Reflector Mage and Oath of Nissa. I think that's what I want to do. Oath first, see if it changes anything. It doesn't change anything. I think I want the wastes. I have double white. I have the ability to fetch my Cinderglade. So I'll bounce the Sylvan Advocate. Whoa. Alright, well, what I can do here is play this thing. This thing. I don't think it matters very much what I find. Battlefield. So I'm going to have 7 mana to work with next turn, which I think means I just want to keep my Reflector Mage and Displacer in play and use the mana on activating Displacer. I mean, unless my opponent breaks that up somehow. Definitely do not want to bounce the Horde. That thing getting dashed would not be great for me. I guess Displacer's still good against it being dashed, but I don't think that's the optimal thing to do. I think it's much better to block it with Reflector Mage and then Displacer the Reflector Mage. That's not good. So now I really need to draw something to do with my mana next turn. Ideally, Planar Outburst, but alright, so I drew nothing, so I can chump here and take 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, exactly lethal. So I'm dead. Alright. Yep, 7 mana. Reflector Mage is good. Yeah, I could have played that first game better. I think it was right to sideboard out Kozilek's Return, but I'm not sure that everything else I did in sideboarding was perfect.